Welcome to Dyslexia. My name's Adrian. Today I've got a first for this channel, and this is the first ever sort of talk or chat I've ever had about solo role playing or solo sort of dungeon books. I've tried a few systems in the past, and I've a bit struggled. I think one of the biggest problems with being dyslexic is you struggle to sort of engross yourself in a game where you've got to read to yourself and then still concentrate on the mechanics and how it plays and everything. So there is a reason for this. Last night, while looking on Kickstarter, I stumbled across something I'd never heard of before. And it was, I'll just share the screen, and it was this. It was 2d6 Legendary Dungeon, a dungeon crawler. So it instantly got me intrigued because this is an expansion for 2d6 Dungeon, a print and play, role play, write, dungeon crawler solo game designed by Toby Lancaster. Something I'd never heard of. So I thought I'd spend a little bit of time looking through the Kickstarter. Then went and had a look at, I'll come on back to the Kickstarter in a second, had a look at Toby himself. What's Toby done? Because obviously if you're going to back something on Kickstarter, if they've got a little bit of other products that are there, sometimes you just want to go in and have a look and sort of see what else he's got. And mainly it's the 2d6 Realms, 2d6 Dungeon, and this Rad Zone role-playing books. She's got a bit of experience in here. Everything so far has been funded, so which is good. I then jumped onto Drive-Through RPG to take a look at this, and I was absolutely blown away. I'm going to do a separate good, the bad, and the arty review on the 2d6 dungeon system because I've been having a play with it, and the combat rules are sweet. Very rarely do I pick up something, especially these solo games, and I'm instantly just drawn to just how I've probably done less work today than I should have done. Let's say that with playing with this. I'll put a link in the description below as well to Drive Through RPG where you can download the original rule book. It cost me, I think it's about £6.50, so it's about $8. I will have an affiliate link for it, so if you do click to it, it will make me a little bit of money for the channel that I can then put towards buying other books and, helping me make the channel grow. But in essence, you are going into a dungeon, using 2d6 for practically everything. You've got a primary dice and a secondary dice, which again, I'll come through when I do the good, the bad, and the arty. So I'm not going to really focus on the rules. I'm just going to focus on this Kickstarter because it's the latest product that he's bringing out, which is what I've been doing a bit more. See, I'm going to do the thing. So here we are, $34,000 raised already, 500 backers, 40 days to go. So it was launched yesterday. All today, depending on when I manage to get this video out. And and Toby is based here in the United Kingdom. So what's included in this Kickstarter? So the Legendary Dungeons, classic dungeon crawler, print and play, roll and write type of game. You play as an experienced adventurer. So the basic game, you start as a basic character. Your first level, you're just starting out. This one implies you're going to be a stronger character. So in the first game, you get to level 10 and you kind of the 10th level of the dungeon. Your character should make 10th level, and then that ends it, so it caps the game. So I'm assuming this is going to take off from level 11 onwards. Bigger dungeons, harder creatures, newer, updated combat rules. So the Legendary Dungeon is an expansion for D6 dungeons. You'll need the D6 core rule book, two different coloured dice, D6, additional two six-sided dice, a pencil, a dot grid to draw the map, and a character sheet. So it uses many of the main rules from previous players, so you should be able to understand this. The adventure awaits. A rumour is spreading. It whispers of a terrible place where the insidious evil grows. It's said to be a land not far from yours where people live in fear of night. Merchants who pass through your village talk of terrifying presence. A mighty dungeon. So I like the way this sort of just presents because it's not just a system book. It's an actual world book when you have the original book. So this is just selling the idea of why you're going to go into this dungeon. So you've got sulfur pools that have appeared on the surface, gas rises from newly opened vents. So you've got a reason to why the local villagers will be asking for legendary heroes to go in and help them. What sort of formats can you get the book in? So digital, paperback, spiral bound, hardback, or faux leather. Um, so this new book is 200 pages. The main rule book, I think it was about 56 pages it came in. You've also got rules. I keep getting sidetracked on the game. So you've also got like downtime rules. So if you come out and you can go to inns and do arm wrestling competitions and things like that. So it's a new set of rules show you how to generate a level 10 character if you do not already have one. That's pretty good then. So if you've got your first character that's managed to survive the first dungeon, you can then take that character and then take it down into this dungeon, and you'll discover new spectral powers and applications of advanced combat. So each level is themed within the dungeon. Oh yeah, that's the other bit. So I think it's a human dungeon in the first book, but each level will have different creatures you can expect to find and a different theme on. Even the rooms that will be randomly generated. Toby has created his own world here as well. So Corradine is a fancy world. Humans and variants of them are predominant overland species, but the monsters and goblins exist beneath the surface. Magic is present, so it's a low magic world. And oh yeah, there's gods in here as well. He's created his own gods and artwork for the old gods. There's so much work has gone up. You talk sometimes about passion projects that have just managed to, I think, land perfectly for people, which is one of the things I really like about. It's like when I was looking at Drive Through RPG, the amount of fan-made books for it and other expansions, which just goes to show the love of the community, the community love for this game. Which again, I'm going to be playing it tonight once I hopefully get this video up, and so I finish working for the day. So there's legendary dungeons created a different way from previous dungeons from the original. Magic and instability play a key part of how the dungeon's form is affected. There will be level rooms of instability that brings on new challenges. Rooms may collapse and doorways may fill with rubble. Elemental aspects may surprise. That sounds ace. So I'm working through my first dungeon already. Did I mention that I'm playing this already and a little bit on the hooked side? Um, so artwork here. So there's no AI art. The art is done by Dean Spencer. So you've got a little bit of animal companion as well. So you can take your dog or monkey along on adventures with you. There's a couple of stretch goals. So the first two have already been unlocked. We've got a sudden explosion and the spectral surge. Then got add-ons. So you've got the add-ons that say you can get the annual expansion. You've got a couple of die here with X and Y axis. So there's door dice, yellow pip and blue pip colored dice. Card games. So actually, some of the pages and creatures come in cards. So I have seen don't nick this because I'm gonna maybe look at buying it. There's one copy on eBay. So there's some card events as well. A advanced combat bookmark. This is really sweet, which is the 2d6 folder, which will take your cards, your pens, your map that's going to go here for your dungeon, the rule books, etc. That is really good. Then you've got this spectral lexicon, which I assume is going to be some sort of spell book with the spectral energy powers in there in a nice easy format. There are play testing and development teams. You can join his Facebook page here. Every Thursday or Friday night, Toby does a live stream on his YouTube channel, which I've just subscribed to today. Again, I'll put the link in his YouTube channel, so please do go subscribe that. Do support Toby over there. A little bit of a video here on introduction to a bit about costing and postage, which is always a little bit painful side of things, especially with the VAT and things that are going to kick in. But it is going to be EU and USA and EU and Australian and Canadian friendly. But I assume we'll still get our wonderful VAT on it. which is just the downside. So what have we got? So from a rewards point of view, get an idea of costs and prices. So if you want the digital edition, it's £6. So this is nice. It's got $8 here. So if you then want the legendary dungeons, what's that? Why is that jumped to? Oh, so sorry, yeah. So that's the legendary dungeons and the original book. It jumps up to £10. If you then want it in paperback for the legendary dungeons only, it's £12. Spiral bound is £20, and then you've got the 3 books here, which is 22. So it's 4 books actually included there. There's only 3 on the image, but it says 4 items included here. So Dungeons Pack, digital, and the Dungeon paperback, and then the Dungeon digital edition. Then hardbacks jumps up to £28. Then if you want legendaries with hardbacks, and is there a all in? Here we go. It's the faux leather one. If you want it in the faux leather, it's £55. And if you want 4 of them for your players, then it's going to cost you £200. So a couple of FAQs in here. Do you need the core rule books? This is always weird when they put this in because it clearly said that at the front. But yes, just one word response there. Do you need the 2D realms to play? So that's no. So this is another expansion that is on Drive-Through RPG. Do we use Papa Kit? No, he doesn't use Backer Kit. So it just keeps all the postage and logistics in-house. So we've got a couple of updates, just I think confirming first stretch goals and funding goals. So that's good there. So just a short one for today. So just say covering this 2d6 legendary dungeon book. I've never heard of it up until last night. Never heard of it. Read it today. Absolutely looks a scream. Say I've played through first start of the dungeon. I'm going to get through a good, the bad, and the arty review of this. I think it's well worth reviewing. So if you're a fan of solo games, I know there are some out there. I think there's one uses a D100. I've never used the 2D6 system before. So to me, it just plays really well. So you've got the primary and secondary dice, which interacts really interestingly with your own character as well as with the creatures or monsters that you're fighting. But yeah, this one it was a surprise for me because say single role playing dungeon crawl books aren't always my thing, but I got it in my collection now. So it's down here on my iPad already. I'll be hitting it back tonight. So I'll be able to then hopefully do my review tomorrow, if not whatever the next day from tomorrow will be, because it depends when this is actually comes out. As ever, if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you like what I'm building, please do subscribe to the channel. My name's Adrian from Dungeon and Dyslexia, and I'll see you on the next video. Thank you for watching.